but health is very related with our environment and environment situation. And during the competitions, you can see a lot of enterprises working on recycling, upcycling, doing things with waste, but they are lacking taking in perspective environment related with health. So this is kind of example that should somehow, push boundaries. It's not that there is no interdependency in between these indicators, but just we are not prepared to take them in as whole. And I will finish my presentation with a couple of things which are related with the first session. For example, Andre was mentioning about youth perspective and that the youth is lacking of common sense about youth and entrepreneurship. Our research showed the same, that even though youth is targeting mostly in education, volunteering and project activities, their entrepreneurship skills are not well developed. So they can't use the knowledge to establish enterprises. The second thing is that most of the support system for the youth and the social enterprising in our case is on a first level, initiating an ideas and pushing people to think about developing social enterprise. Maybe some of them receive some funds to start, to develop the idea or to establish social enterprise. But then there is a lack of support for growth and developing of the ideas. And it's a very blurry situation because it doesn't have any official regulation. So at this point, you can put a badge on yourself and say, I am social entrepreneur, or my organization is social enterprise, or my company is working as social enterprise. From one hand, that is providing a huge opportunity so you can do whatever you want. You can relate with the topics which are most important with you without any boundaries setting from the law. But from the other case, you are not getting any support, or you are not provided with any kind of, financial, tax, human support, which is very bad. And at this moment, we have prepared draft law. And in that law, the biggest focus is on kind of merging social services, the ones for the most vulnerable citizens in our country, and social enterprises as something which is following up that phase of social services. So at the end, we will have more involved, inclusive policies about employment and more involved citizens into all parts of the society, not only in separated parts of the employment agency. The idea is to put focus mostly on eradication of poverty, social inclusion, and unemployment, because the state doesn't have enough other policies which can influence on that level. So they are finding salvation into this social enterprising law. But the good side of this draft law, like the proposal of the law, is that he is not strict to this part of the society and these groups from the citizens, but they are opening an idea of developing more greening enterprises or whatever you would like to do. But again, we need to see the final version. Till then, we are doomed to do something without any official recognition, and just to believe the citizens and the society as a whole will recognize what we are offering to them as social entrepreneurs. So basically, if there are questions, I can add more in the second part.
Okay. Thank you very much, Biljana. There are samples of report from North Macedonia on your tables in case you want to dive deep into what we have done in the previous period. The report is not only on English language, we have also it on Macedonian language, so people who feel much comfortable to read the information on Macedonian language, just write to us and we will share very easily the report on both languages. I think it's very important and relevant to know in which kind of ecosystem we are developing our ideas, or we are working like NGOs, for example. Coming to in which kind of environment we are living, and in which kind of, and how this environment, not just environment, I'm not speaking about just green and this kind of elements, but in general, like space where we are living and cities and communities we are living. I think that maybe I have wrong this, we will see with Eva, that the local community where the social enterprises are developing are the most relevant actors, not like a community, but in general, the whole local ecosystem is very relevant and important for developing of social enterprises. I was sharing with you a story about one lady who established social enterprise in Kruševo, but because of this not having infrastructure and support, she gave up of her idea. So I'm sad about this story, but okay, let's not have more of this kind of stories. So Eva, you have very interesting title. You are architect and urban sociologist. I will start with the question: what means urban sociologist?
Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for the invitation. I'm very happy to to be here and to speak about this topic. Especially, I'm happy because nobody speaks about the space and architecture. So I'm really honored that I can change the topic from the social enterprise and I will switch it to space, because usually space is not mentioned. And what is urban sociologist? It's architect and plus sociologist. It's somebody that works about urban problems and about problems with the space regarding the life in the people in the city or in some neighborhoods. It can be village also. There is urban sociology. There is also rural sociology. It's like interdisciplinary field between architecture and sociology, which is not very popular today, but it should be in the future, because our cities are growing and all the people in the world, I think they want to move in the city, they want to have fancy life, like on the Instagram, fast cars, brand new clothes, etc. But nobody thinks that our nature is it's getting worse with the climate change and all the pollution. Is very thoughtful manner. So I will start about the space. Do you think about how much space do you need for your social enterprise, for your home, for anything? Do you think that your social enterprise would be better in capital city or in some small city? So you all here work with some social enterprise. What is your first thought when you start the enterprise? What were you thinking? Come on, people, you were thinking something. Okay.
Okay, so the location of the social enterprise is certainly important. It should be in a place where passersby are frequent.
Okay, yes.
But on the other hand, it should have some distance from the direct competition. They shouldn't be too close.
That is very discutable, yes, because usually when we are planning the cities, especially these oriental cities like we have on the Balkan, Charshia. You all know what is Charshia, old bazaars. Usually the shops are arranged about their purpose. For example, you have Goldsmith Street, then you have some other kind of work. They are all in the same street because they are competition between themselves, but they are making their work better. So when they see that their neighbor has a better product, they try to make it best of themselves. So it depends on the economy, it depends on the cultural forms. But what is more important? The more important is street communication. Okay? По-близко? Вага да слушам. Aha, okay.
We have final products, and we have buzzer in Strumica, and we are there. But we also have problem. The main problem, I think, in our company, our enterprise, is that that products are not recognized from the consumers. Why? Because our look of the label is not marked. Maybe it will be good in the future to have some brand or some label that our customers will recognize us. In my city, they can recognize us because I have family, I have friends, I have neighbors. I'm recognized, but if we want to develop our business in Skopje, maybe, Bitola and other cities from Macedonia, we cannot do this.
Yes.
Because in these cities, they cannot recognize us.
Yes, so the positive in this case is that you have strong community. When we speak about the space, we must connect the space with the people, and we must recognize the space as a very limited resource. Usually when we speak about space, nobody thinks that it's just in amount that is measurable, and it's very easy to use it in some way which will not be very useful to us. So when we speak about city, we need community, and then community are the people, strong community, and we need strong infrastructure. And I'm afraid that part of my speech is already done, because imagine these things. You are going to some conference, you are traveling half of a day, maybe the whole day. You get to the hotel and there is no water. So there is no water, not just the hotel, in the entire city. Would you start your social enterprise in the atmosphere like this, in the city like this? Or you would like some city where there is better condition? And when I say better condition, I mean maybe strong infrastructure with water, of course, or maybe you are just optimist, so the lack of water is not problem for you. Maybe you can start social enterprise about the lack of water, so you can use it in some inspirational way in these situations. So I want to say that when we speak about the space in the city, we need what we need in everyday use. There is public space, so what Dima said, we must get somehow to the product, but we must first see the product. If we do not want to see it in the physical form, or if we don't want to visit the cafe, for example, which is social enterprise, then we have social media. We do not need the space, we do not need the city. The social media are space for themselves. But I'm afraid that this is not the case. I will just compare two cases. One is Crucial, one is Skopje. Skopje is big city, it's capital city. The whole Macedonia wants to live in Skopje. They are buying apartments. But the problem is lack of public space, pollution, very, very bad traffic. So you can waste your day in the car and just waste your day doing nothing. And on the other hand, we have Khrushchev, which for 15 minutes by foot you can get everywhere. There is cleaner, there is sun, mountain, woods, actually anything that city needs. But there is no community because there is no people, there is no young people, and there is no who can buy the products. So what is better infrastructure for you is better community. So the main problem here is how to have both. To have strong quality of life and to have strong social enterprise, you need both. You need what you said here, that you have in Strumica, you have your friends, your family that can recognize the product, but you also need streets to get to the product. You need place, markets, open markets, green markets, depend on the product. You need pedestrian walks, you need some sort of infrastructure that people can use to get to the product. So I think that space and the city are very important, and because all these aspects are not very considered when there is a topic like social enterprise and all the topics. When I speak about urbanization, there is too much urbanization in the big cities and the capital cities, which do not guarantee the quality of life. So usually this big urbanization means commercial products like all these chains about fashion or about food, which are not very friendly about local enterprise and social enterprise, and they are marketing, consumption, and globalization, and actually they are making the whole situation worse. So what we need is a strong community, but we need first to see how is urbanization plan. If the city plan can guarantee you a quality of life through the quality of space. So for example, if you have some product which is for the kids and you have polluted air, it is very contradictory with one with another. You cannot sell, I don't know, some kids product in the city which is very polluted and it's unfriendly for the kids. Or for example, if you have, I don't know, something, some product which is better in the rural company, but you want to make it successful and you go to the city where nobody knows you and nobody recognizes you, then also you are doing not very good job. So what I want to say, it's very important how we connect the space and how we see the urbanization in the city.
Thank you very much, Eva. I am happy with the answers. Before we continue with the book, maybe Biljana wants to jump a little to answer.
Sorry, I didn't remember your name. I'm very sorry, but I remember that you're working with the bees and the honey. So I just want to come back to your question, because that mark was mentioned during our research when we speak and have interviews with the social entrepreneurs. And they said that it's very important to have that label. And that actually is in the pillar of supporting systems. That will support recognition of your products, because you mostly go to the bazaars, you have the exhibitions, you have already some community which recognize probably organic products, probably social enterprise products. There are people, they're interested in the niche in which you have the product. But coming from the quality of life pillar, it means if citizens have enough money to buy your products, if they are choosing buying a product related with the values, it might be that they would like to buy your products, but from another side, they know that there is similar product which is not that good as yours, but can fulfill their need for honey, for example, and it's 3 times less charged. So this is how the unemployment, the poverty rate the amount of wages, the amount of income in the family is actually helping to you as a social entrepreneurs, or are obstacle for your development. Our interviewed people told us that when they go to the bazaars, they see only the same faces. They have only the same buyers. There are many people just going around and looking what's going on, but sometimes they don't believe that they are buying something with added value of the product, because it's just something done from the social enterprise. So probably if we have, if we are scoring pillars and we have better score in the quality of life pillar, that automatically means that products and services from the social enterprises will be more welcomed into people's houses. Otherwise, they might have other priorities which are not related with your products, but are related with their life situation at that moment. And that's why, very important when I mention interconnectivity in between pillars, to be clear that improving one pillar might affect to another, but not necessarily. That's why at the same time we need to advocate to improve all 4 pillars. For example, you have question in the first session about financing. That's one of the pillars. Then supporting systems, we mentioned maybe some labeling, quality of life with the enough income to provide goods, and then human capital. We need to have a community to buy things. If we are stick to this migration, people going out from the country, and one moment we will not have enough customers for the services social enterprises which are offering. So I just want to add, like, to your question, I know that it's not satisfactory. I know it's not a solution, but it's clarifying what is behind that.
Something to this? Yes, when you mention open markets and the place where you sell the products, actually we need to have space in the city for the open market. Usually these kind of spaces are public spaces and they are free. There is no charge, they belong to the municipality and they are open for all people. But with this urbanization and how they are selling the land property, usually municipalities there sell the land property, especially in Skopje. There is a big privatization, big percent of privatization of the space. So suddenly all these markets are not free, are not available to the citizen or to the community or to those people who want to buy all these things. Or for example, the people who are selling these things should pay some rent, which is not very sustainable for them. So usually if there is tradition of selling things, the tradition suddenly starts dying, and all this phenomenon opens new problems, for example, like justice in the city, how the space is available to the citizen. And actually all this makes quality of life lower, because if we have better and quality public spaces, that is better for all of us, and it's make the city and the neighborhood, it's the same, more democratic, more inclusive, and the things like that. So when you think about social enterprise, you must be thinking about public space, because it's the mirror of the quality of life in the city or in the country. It's the same.
I can go with the questions now, if it's short, but after book presentation you will have plenty of time. But if how you prefer? I'm not okay. Okay, this I did just because Vuk is a young person, and how you feel so far?
Nervous. First of all, nervous.
Don't be nervous. Why?
I don't know. Public speech.
Let's do it. You to feel relaxed. Okay. Can you present to me who is Vuk Rojević?
Rojević, yes.
From social enterprise Vuci Srca. Not your enterprise. Who is Vuk?
I'm. That's the question. I work with people with disabilities.
Okay.
I'm all my life in that job because I'm always going on trips with them, and my parents are
Defectologist, okay.
And they work with them, and their job is to tell everybody how to be with them, how to live with them, and for whole our goal is to make society accept them and make them a place where they are belong.
Okay, you are living where, Luke?
In Belgrade.
In Belgrade, Serbia. You are happy with the quality of life in Belgrade, Serbia?
It can always be better, but we are.
Macedonians
we're
love
here.
Belgrade, you know?
All Balkans.
But you are happy, like a young
Yeah.
person, you are happy.
Yeah,
And
I
what
love
about
Belgrade.
the quality of life in Belgrade for the sounds of heart or zvuci srca?
Srca.
Yeah.
Can you repeat the question?
How the quality of life in Belgrade is reflecting to your social enterprise? What do you think?
Okay, I think that poverty and increased cost of living and everything make us turn on ourselves. And like in the war, everybody think about their lives and their needs. But now we're in peace, and we must turn ourselves in the most variable part of society, and we must give them life they are deserve.
Okay, nice. So, if I understood correctly, I didn't go with the personal question, what is your age, etc., these kind of elements, but I understood that your involvement in this field is because of your parents, or I'm something wrong?
My parents are defectologists, and
Yes.
I am from young age with people with disabilities, and
This was your motivation to
yeah,
turn?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
This
okay.
is yeah, that's it.
Your motivation. Okay,
Yeah,
you
motivation.
can start shortly with your introduction of your social. Do you feel better now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
You can start now slowly with presentation of your social enterprise, and I'm kindly asking the whole audience here that if we want our young people to succeed in our society, let's make them heard. So I'm kindly asking you, book to be heard. Okay? Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay, the presentation is behind.
Okay. So basically, the Sounds of Heart is cafe where we are training people with disabilities to live alone, to know how to service in cafe, how to make some things like, because we have a workshop there, we're training them to make t-shirts, to make bags, badges, magnets, and more things. And we are training them to stood for themselves because they are people who are who can't speak for themselves. They don't know how, and our job is to make parents and whole society accept them and make them feel right. We are, first of all, we are organization, humanitarian organization, Child's Heart, who make, okay. We want to show that we have evolved, and we are prepared for a job like everybody. So on our 18th birthday, we we open cafe to make please don't. Kako da kažem da za naš 18. rođendan smo hteli da... Ima i stranaca, pa... Ukratko, za naš 18. rođendan smo hteli da pokažemo svima da smo mi dovoljno zreli, da možemo da napravimo društvo i da napravimo ljude sposobnim za rad, zato što punoletstvo je period života gde svi teže ka tom nekom svrhom i tim nekim ciljem i poslom i nekim životnim putem i samim tim smo mi...
Oh, now you are making me nervous. I to translate all of this. Okay, so I will try. Follow
Please.
me. So when they celebrate 18 years of their establishment, they wanted to establish enterprise, I understood correctly, because they want to demonstrate to the society they are enough mature and your beneficiaries are ready, they to be employers.
Yeah.
I understood correctly
Yeah.
everything? Okay, nice. Okay, you can continue now by yourself.
Okay, thanks. We Child's Heart have 1,200 people who are working because we have multiple jobs. Because first of all, we have a lot of camps where we are trying to make them capable of living alone. We are trying to teach their parents how to work with them, how to feel safe because they are old. Mostly of them are old and they are worrying about their child's life after their life. And we must free them for their feeling. We have a lot of services like we have buses who are driving the kids with special needs, and if they are need that we like personal assistants, we are going with them to school and be mediator between them and the professor. What are we promoting are inclusion through self-advocacy, direct communication of young people with disabilities, risk groups, and the general population, employment of the most difficult employable target groups, people with mental disabilities, self-employment, parents start family business with their children, and launching work centers for people with disabilities who are assessed by National Employment Services to be employment and have 20 work capacity. And now we are on the main question of this whole discussion, and that's how does the quality of life affect on development of social enterprises? Poverty, increased cost of living, inflation, difficulty access to basic life needs affect a marginalized group of people first because they are in situation each person turns to himself and satisfying on his own needs. Of course.
Where we can find you in Belgrade?
not in Belgrade, but we have multiple cafes because that's our goal to in every city have one cafe. And
Cafes you have?
for now, three.
Three.
For
Bravo.
now, but we will open in Novi Sad soon, and we are working on that. We are trying to make the whole scope, whole theme of cafe, and every cafe work something. For example, we in Belgrade, we are working on T-shirts, bags, badges. For example, in Niš, they are working on sapoons, and we have whole circle of chain, yeah. And that's it for me. Thanks.
They have space and they are building the community. So what is need for them? It's good public transport and safe public transport. So these people can to get to your shops and to the cafes. So that is actually the city aspect and safe pedestrians roads. So inclusive also.
Yeah.
So actually you have all those space components in your project, in your work.
I just want to add, because you have cafes, and you know how Starbucks is
Yeah.
overtaking everything, like with the selfies and the big, beautiful mugs. So that is something which we should target in the supporting pillar, because in the supporting pillar, there is building conscious about the value of social enterprises. And I will come back to the previous questions. People, even if they have money, nowadays choose to buy something branded, something which will position them in the society like, I don't know, very important persons. And then that's how sometimes, even though they like products and maybe, you know, secretly use some of the products, some of your soaps because they're good, they will never promote it because they are not getting likes promoting that. So social enterprises have challenge to build that community aware that if they promote something which is adding value to all of us, then that is actually making them very important people.
Yeah,
so
we are making our whole brand.
So basically, in our research, we find out that we are still shaking in that field, and there is just a bubble of people which are interested into those products, and they are very proud having piece of that uniqueness, and others are still into consumption field, and they prefer to have photos with brands, so I'm very happy that you are developing brand, and probably we need more, as Maria Magdalena speak in the beginning, establishing that brand, recognizing equally as those others.
Speakers are finished or not? A lot of comments there were. Do you have some for now? Okay. Okay, so the next element, what is coming, is open discussion with the participants in the room. So I will start with Dimitar because he already has. Yes, and yeah.
I have two questions for Biljana. One of them is more of a technical character. In your list of indexes and indicators, what do you think about including an indicator which is rather recent about human happiness? Because that is also connected with the quality of life. There are some institutions which calculated those indexes, and North Macedonia ranks rather low on it, but never mind. Just something to think about for the following years. And yes, yes, of course.
idea behind those indexes is to, so we start with a very long list, like all possible international indicators and all possible indicators which are easily accessible in our state statistical offices. And then we figure out that actually the most important thing is how we will represent them and how we will connect them with the social enterprises. So the indicators in this list are the ones who we think that are influential and are measurable very easily, which doesn't mean that is a final list. So we took the first, I don't know, 20, whatever, like must having them, and then we have optional that each country can take the indicator which can be added to describe more directly the situation in the country. That means that in our case, if we obviously are very low in that scale, and if that is influential into buying services and products of the social enterprises, or will influence on decisions of the future social entrepreneurs, it might be taken in consideration. It's not excluded, but this was just a list which partners in a previous project decide that is the most easy, accessible, approachable, and useful in kind of scoring of the quality of life in each of the states involved in this phase.
Okay, thank you, Biljana. And my second question was more relevant the moment I wanted to ask it, because right now the discussions kind of moved away from it, but you mentioned that the success of the social enterprises is dependent upon the number of people, like immigration, negatively affected. That is definitely true, but what about a more qualitative aspect? Because when you sell a product as a social enterprise, you may satisfy some basic need, like let's say for food, but part of the value proposition for a social enterprise is also the satisfying the need for self-realization, which is rather high. So the standard of living and the purchasing power of the people who are potential customers of the social enterprise is also very important. Not only the number of potential buyers, but whether they have enough spare money to actually buy something which would fulfill their need for self-realization. Okay, that is the question.
I agree with you that purchasing power is very important. Speaking about the people, for example, that is mostly helping to develop a business model for the social enterprise. For example, if you want to offer something for mass consumption in Kruševo, number of people is definitely something which indicates that it will not be successful. It's better that product to be sold in Skopje, for example, because of the number of people. But if it is something specific, for example, I don't know, care for elderly people, maybe Kruševo is better option, not necessarily by numbers, but related with the situation of people. So because this is a very first barometer and very wide, taking all aspects, and because I was related with buying honey, which is again something for a mass production, that's why I mentioned the number of people as an indicator and migration as a possible indicator into the whole ecosystem, not specifically in some businesses.
something, or you can make a better transport, better roads, and connect it with something, with something else, so they can be not just one product or two. So.
Okay, I'm a bit nervous, but I'll do my best. Okay. 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 This is actually not the question. I came here to learn because I'm young entrepreneurship. Okay, whatever. Not by age, of course, but I'm just got confused. Actually, I would like to hear your way of thinking, because in this pillar we are talking about quality of life indicators, and I'm so excited to see all these lists and how they effectively by your all this study. But am I because I got confused because my social enterprise actually is our mission to help in life quality of our municipality. Is it this wrong way? Am I wrong? Can be that way also and be successful also.
The idea of this indicator is not related with every specific enterprise. Because when you establish your social enterprise, you have a business model. You choose what are you doing, how are you doing, who will be your target group, and things like that. This barometer shows overall, and for example, if, I don't know, what is your social enterprise doing?
We do education for young kids.
Super.
About biogardening and about environmental impact.
Super. If you see that in supporting of ecosystem, you see that quality of life is not satisfactory because of the environmental issues, and it has very low score. You are the one who are improving that score. Even it's a high score, then you see, we can use this like a starting point. We see this is very important and we are adding, and then this will lead to something else. So the idea is to have overall inspection of the situation, and that will help you to do the thing behind that. Like, this will help you, instead of you doing all the research, you're receiving, somebody will do it at one point, maybe it will be you, but somebody will do it, and it will present that in city of Nova Varoš, the quality of life score, and then you have 5 indicators inside. Now I'm making up, I don't know if there are 5, but there are 5 indicators. And in the social economic part, the score is 2.
There are
because
9.
people are very poor.
There are 9.
Okay, 9. And then in first one, you have scored 3. That means that people are very poor, they doesn't have enough money. And then, okay, you know, okay, this is the situation. Do this influence on my product? No, I am doing education. Nobody cares about the poor people. But then you say, there are a lot of poor people, so I can take part of these people and involve them into my enterprise. Then you go to another one. Health, you see score 0. Like, there are no data about this. Then you go and make a proposal, and you said, because this is important to us, we would like to ask the local self-governance to prepare a report of the, I don't know what. Then you go to next indicator and you see that environment is something in between 2 or 3, and then you will see the air pollution is okay, but the waste is very high, and then you will know if it is enough to deliver only in urban gardening, or you should have something more, or you should, everything is covered here, let's change my direction. So this is the idea, to use the barometer as a tool which will help you in a way you need a help. It will not be the same for each enterprise. Somebody will take only one indicator, some will take the overall situation, some of you will be inspired to provide new researches. Some of you will do some advocacy work and say, aha, you see, Youth Alliance said that this is like that, it should be improved. We ask government to do. So that's the idea behind all of these complicated words I'm mentioning. No, yeah.
Just got confused and afraid maybe my view is wrong. No. Okay, I can do it this way too. Okay, thank you.
If I may
yeah.
add something?
Oh,
No.
okay, go ahead.
No.
Younger generation are always in the front.
During the implementation, I know why you are confused, because during the implementation of the whole project, there were two teams. Ones who are strongly against the quality of life pillar, and the ones who are very supporting, pro. I was in the against team, Biljana was in the pro.
And the
Both
Biljana
Biljanas
was-
were in the pro team. In the end, they won. However, why it's confusing for people is because you get the actual data and you see the quality of life is low, or the quality of life it's very high, or just how many people are having different kind of beneficiaries. So here the dilemma is, should we improve the quality of life, or should we look for places with a low quality of life, and we to do something to improve this the quality of life in general, or and to improve the ecosystem and the community itself. So this was also the debate between us as well. So you are not confused, you are just in between the two theories.
I got the benefit of this, but I just was worried about me and my enterprise,
Of course.
not about your mission. Thank you so much.
Look, Dunya, we are working like a youth organization. We are working on one index called Youth Participation Index, whereby we are involved in, you see, always when I'm speaking about youth participation, something is making more challenging to speak about this. There are three dimensions inside: political, social, and economic participation, which means that we are working like organization with main vision, youth participation of young people in all spheres of social life. So with this index, we are showing that it's low political or any kind of participation. It's the same. So you can use this indicator to demonstrate that how I can be successful. You understand? So we had strong achievements. When we say in front of decision makers that from your government you have zero, like Biljana said, zero in health, your zero ministers, young ministers, they was looking themselves like this. You understand me? When you say to responsible person in your city about health, that we are taking just like example, that in your city you have health infrastructure zero, let's work together in this. So you are in the benefit. I'm just giving another example to you. You understand me?
Yeah, I understand completely.
Okay.
About
Don't be worried. Be happy. We will have water also during the day. Okay. The other people maybe have some another question or a comment or advice. Okay.
Hi everyone. I was thinking in a time when you were speaking, and all of the speakers mentioned and highlighted so many problems that are seen when you are especially young, social entrepreneurship. And if you look on this project, was my colleague was talking about, if you are a sane person and you try something like this, everybody will be, in a way, don't do it, you have no support. If you look any of the indicators in the moment this was started, especially our previous organization, DECI, all indicators say, don't do it, go find some other job, do something else, you will have more money, more support, etc. This is the case that shows when you put human needs, especially this kind of group we are working with, if you put human needs in first place and you have a good idea, it will succeed. It will be a success. Any problems that we hear, especially here in Balkans, that's our close environment, but as we heard from Miss from Hungary, from Czech, so anything, they have problems too, and if you look just on the data and focus on data, you will do anything. I mean, it will be so much harder for you to work on some project like this, and especially in the beginning, when you are starting. Don't listen to anyone and just follow your idea and dream, and you will success. So that's it.
If you like, yes, you can make a comment on the comment. Yeah.
And that's actually the specific where social entrepreneurship beats the business. That's the way. When you're entrepreneur by heart, you don't care that data is bad. You're willing to do something and you go for that. But in the meantime, you really don't care about the data, you care about the people. You just take data as something to be aware of. So just to know how many hits you will get, how many people will hate you. So related, but I agree with you that this data is just indicative. It's not something that need to shape your business. It's something that might help you to fit better in the surrounding.
That data gets you ready for hard work.
Perfect.
Okay, Eva?
Yeah, and I think just to connect to that, I think this data helps those organizations that are developing and supporting social entrepreneurs and enterprises. In order for them to see what's lacking, what's missing, they can focus on that you don't have to. I think that would definitely make your life easier, that we as like Impact Hub Budapest, we know where are the weak parts, so we focus on those. So social entrepreneurs or practitioners don't have to. I think that's also kind of connecting to these thoughts.
Okay, thank you. Nice. Here it goes, more young people.
I just want to add something about the quality of life. When we talk for quality of life, we should think about the unemployment, because this is the reason that connects all the other problems. But when we think about the unemployment, we should separate it in two ways. That those ones that are really, really unemployment, and those ones that they just think that they are unemployment. And this brings us to another problem, that is migration. Migration of the young people. So I think we should focus more on this. What should we do to show the young ones that there is also much more work than they think? That's it.
Productive comment. Thank you very much. North Macedonia is a strong leader in youth migration. The official data is saying that a lot of young people are leaving, or they are wishing to leave the country. But I really hope that we will change this way of thinking. Okay, so who is next? Somebody to add, to comment. And look, if you don't feel comfortable on English, we will do our best. We are not professional translators, but we will do our best, people to understand what you are saying. So just raise your hand. I can translate, for example, on Serbian, on Macedonian, or some. We will help each other. We will be solid.
On Bulgarian as well.
I
can do it, yes.
Yeah, I'm not the best, but feel comfortable you to be part of the discussion. Welcome. Ilona?
I just have
Okay.
one kind of
Sorry.
continuation.
Sorry. Ilona then? Yeah.
And it's connected also with the first morning session. There was now this comment about brain drain and leaving. And I think it's not just in the Balkans. Like, for example, when I'm coming from, people also want to leave the city or the surrounding villages. They don't want to stay there. And after I connect also with Magdalena comment, I think it's about showing through these other stories that when there are some possibilities which will give you options to develop something what is yours. And I will now continue with another study which was done with people which left North Macedonia, like let's say in before 3-4 years, and how they are satisfied in the new places. And it's not always so pink. Yes, you have now access to some better services regarding some parts of your life, but on other side, for example, your work is completely something that is not satisfying you. For example, you work in McDonald's, as I was interviewing these cases. And this is young people which have, let's say, potential to do more. But yes, they decided now to emigrate because they were not satisfied with many things. They were coming especially from rural areas of North Macedonia. But it's not there that their life satisfaction is now very high, even in living in a places, let's say, with better quality of life of general. And I think for us to address this unemployment is to kind of show how it can go both ways and how it's all interlinked, and that if by you staying here and improving, let's say, by something like by social enterprise in long run, it can also be positive for your life. Just a comment from one study which I was recently part of.
Thank you. Lea. Yeah.
Sorry. I just wanted to add something. Really, the young ones miss the research work. So they don't really research how much work is at the country to do. As a young one, for me myself, I'm very against travel. I'm very against migrating, but I would like to travel, of course. But migrating and going somewhere else to work for another state, it's something that we shouldn't do it. We shouldn't develop the other states while we can develop our own state. Just research, and I'm sure we will find much more work than we think there is. And also more money.
I actually wanted to touch on that, because people leaving the country and migrating, of course, is not ideal, but those people that left, they are also an asset, and they have capital that they made in the country they went to that couldn't be made in the country they came from. So we need organized efforts to use that capital, and those people are, of course, they are willing to contribute, they want to see their country prosper. And we need projects such as this one, where young people gather and where we can get vision from those people who left, who didn't find in their countries what they wanted, so they had to leave. But now they made what they wanted to make, and we can use their expertise, we can use their capital, and make a country that nobody will want to leave, but a country where people will want to come.
Pillar is actually the one which do the asset. So if social entrepreneurs and enterprises have enough people to work with, like we are showing the structure of people, the age of people, the social resource of the people, etc. And speaking about migration, there are not only external migration, you have migration inside. And that it's very related with the quality of life in the cities. That's Eva's part of thing, because in one of the researches that I've used, and Eva actually told me about that, it's the measuring of the quality of life of the cities on I think it's on a world level. Yes. The one of the parameters, which is something we are not taking into consideration, is affordable housing. For example, if you're an internal migrant, you go to study, you go to work somewhere, whatever, then you need to rent an apartment. And for example, Skopje was very highly scored that have very affordable housing. So I want just to make a relation that not if we have migration is bad, necessarily is bad in different context and in different ideas about social enterprises. So you should take you should go beyond data as we are used to have it, but we need to represent it in a different way.
Actually, when we speak about quality of life in the city, how it's easiest to see how your city is rated, just imagine your daily life. Okay, you get up, you need to go to work. You go by car, by public transport. Is it near, far? Then you need to shop. Do you have local markets? Do you have some big supermarket that you can go just by car there? Then do you have enough greenery, parks, recreation, sports centers? When you get sick, do you have in your neighborhood healthcare? If you have little children, do they have enough space to play? Do you feel safe? And when you walk around your block, around your flat, do you have pedestrian walks? Actually, all these things that we are taking for granted are making the quality of life, and they can be measured. They can be measured in so much ways. For example, we can see how public space is, if it's quality, how much people stay out of their homes. For example, if you have very unquality, very bad public space, you just pass it through and you do not communicate with your neighbors. You just want to get to your car and to your home, and that's it. If the space is better, then you start walking around, you start communicate. First you see your neighbors, then you start conversation, then you have exchanging of ideas, and this is democracy levels that go up, and they are making the quality of life better. And actually, all these things are happening in the space, in the house, in the kindergartens, in the schools, on the street. And this is how we use the space as a resource. Actually, all these things are connected, and they are very important for all social enterprises, and they are measuring by the European Commission. For example, it's very popular now to have happy city and healthy city and green city. For example, Denmark and Copenhagen, it's always on the top best city for life, because the atmosphere in the city, it's very friendly, it's very healthy. They have no air pollution like we have in Skopje, for example. For example, today the top news was that in Skopje last night air was 4 times above all the measurements of the pollution, and actually it's poisonous. So it's very child unfriendly, actually it's human unfriendly, and it cannot be with good quality of life and in the top 3 cities with the best quality of life when you have elementary things that are not satisfying.
No, just a quick remark. You have to have in mind the different context of the cities. Many people don't know that Copenhagen is on an island. It is surrounded by sea on all sides, and there are winds, and that is why, that is one of the reasons why the air pollution is lower, while Skopje is surrounded by mountains. So
Exactly, but in this case, there should be strategy about Skopje, not to be all with the concrete and so high buildings. So we should have different approach that would be more sustainable, more ecological, and adequate to the geography of the place. So there is a cure for everything.
There is one thing which is super interesting in that report about Skopje. Yes, we are good in affordable housing, but corruption in public institutions is also very high, and we don't even mention it because we are used to it, that you need to do some bribe and corruption if you need some document, if you need to ask something. You know, we are not even worried about it. We are advocating, but what about if you want to open a social enterprise? What it means that if you need to bribe, I don't know, 10 public servants to get one paper? So it is a bit tricky, not always obviously related with the space in the city, but many aspects into public organization and public administration. And one of our, we do some interviews, and one of the people said, because we have a very bad public transport in last, I don't know how many years, but now like situation is very terrifying and worrying. She said, if I would like to open social enterprise now, it definitely will be a bus, private bus transport from one to another space, especially at the evening when there is no transportation at all. So I will become very rich very fast. So she was speaking and describing about the safety of the people who will use the transportation, ability to go and to relate with other things, but at the same time, she was covering very crucial aspect of city life. So probably this is how future reports related with the barometer will help enterprises. Another thing which was mentioned in our report, it was lacking of infrastructural report, which means that city doesn't care about social enterprises at all, and they are not offering any free or almost free subsidized space. So now social enterprises in Skopje are in the same line with the businesses to rent, to regular businesses to rent and to pay enormous money. And when they're at the beginning of development of the business, it's almost killing them before they start to operate right. So this is how things are interrelated.
And because all the things are connected, if you invest in good city infrastructure, then in some way you invest in social enterprise, in better city life, in mental health of the citizens, and in all sorts of things that are needed in everyday life, actually.
Okay, Dunya? Just Mike, because we are recording and streaming in the same time. People to listen.
Sorry. I just have a comment on this because all these two situations, what you said, I have this like similar examples in my city. For example, about this bus transportation, my child, I tried to put my child in kindergarten, and we had a list, and 70 kids there were accepted, and 30 they were refused. And I was, oh my God, why I shouldn't open the kindergarten? This should be like, very good business, yeah. And the second one about this local community, these people, they made decisions. That is how we started our bio garden, actually, because we asked for some space and they refused us. And this was our way, we've just found this way to have garden. And that's it, yeah, just was interesting.
One more question there, or I saw something wrong?
I just wanted to give one example which connects basically what everything is telling. I was visiting Latvia, Riga, and it's an example how they use some kind of data which was gathered through report about quality of life in the city and support social entrepreneurs. They had this old area which was before the factories, and when they were discussing the municipality what should do with this concrete area, they asked so what we should do, and there was a public discussion about it. And through the data, they kind of led the discussion that if they will bring some businesses to this area, the people will of course start to use this area, there will be more fluctuancy people, and some businesses will grow. And it was very interesting there that they also invited the social entrepreneurs, so the social entrepreneurs got the space. So now, I still don't know if it's existing, but before there was one street where you could really visit different businesses, and especially social entrepreneur businesses. And for the municipality, and after 2 years, they really proved that the criminality around decrease, that people around are more satisfied, there is a less complaint from the people which lives there. And for me, it was a good demonstration how it's also important to get the data when we start to do some, for example, enterprise. Doesn't matter which data it can be. Now, I don't have a concrete example in head, but they start to collect this data about complaining of people that that the area is dangerous, that it's a bit not pleasant. Now, they didn't complain about it. And for when more people stress it out, the municipality decided to support the social enterprises, and they pay really minimal rents for the places. So now you have an area which is publicly much more accessible. It works in the city, like a public space. The social enterprises have a support, but it's also backed by some data.
Thank you very much. There was one more question, comment behind there.
Hello, my name is Georgi Hadjikutarov. I'm coming from agriculture cooperative from Strumica, and I want to tell you my story. When we have some knowledge about the social enterprises, I have an idea to put our target group, our prisoners from Strumica prison. 2 years I work with them, and for now I have 6 people who have our training for beekeeping and growing the kiwi and grapes and hazelnut. What is the problem? The problem for me, not for them. For them, I think that is good because they have time for resocialization in our fields. But for me, is problem that for one period they come to our fields, maybe 3, 4, 5 months. But after that, they finish with their time for prison. And must go, and I must find another one to teach them how to do with this kind of job. For now, the second problem is to continue with cooperation with our prison for jail. With cooperation with them, but on the long time, because when the yes, thank you, is changed, we have a problem because one of them support that, but one of them don't support this things. For that, I want to find some solution to be this on a long time. Thank you for now. If you have some question or some that's for me.
It's very common that social enterprises who are directly involving vulnerable citizens, in this case prisoners, facing more obstacles and having more problems into doing the work. And from the experiences which are close to us, the best way is to have combination of social service and social enterprise, thinking about social service covered by the state and social enterprise run by a business model. So if you can organize merging these two things, supporting one to another, it might be a bit easier. Maybe it will not solve the problem, but it will be a bit busier, since licensing the social service means getting some subsidy from the state. That means that more of your resources can be used for the social enterprise and the business model, and in the other case of social service, you can do a preparation of the people for the social enterprise. So somehow, when you are entrepreneur, it means that you need to combine all the resources and all the possibilities to have more success. And thank you for sharing this. This was an occasion to mention it, that when we speak about social enterprises, we are thinking about people who are in social economy, in care economy, in delivering some social services. So even the definition is so broad, and this barometer will not cover everything. It will be, again, just indicative in which way could things go.
Thank you. Do we have more comments, more questions, something? No? Okay. So the team quickly prepared interactive element inspired by the discussion that we have here. So can we kindly ask you to scan the code on the screen?
You can also feel free to stand up, go closer, you can move around the hall.
Yeah, feel free to find your engaging spot. Okay. 30. Are we 30 people in the room? No, we are more people. How many? 50. We are 50 people in the room. Okay, somebody who doesn't want to participate is no problem. But it's good to participate. It's fun. It's not something which brings nervous to you. You didn't manage? Yes, you can pass to Dunya. Yeah. Okay, can we start now, Andrei? Yes. Okay, the first question. Okay. Можем я так да. Okay, kind ask from the team you to write in which city do you live. Let's see how many cities we have in the room. Or not city, municipality, wherever you are living. Okay. It's dominating Skopje, I don't know why, and Varna is dominating. Belgrade is with small b. Hungary, it's not city, Hungary. Okay. Niš, Podgorica, Strumica, Prerov, Nova Varoš. Participants are typing. Let me check. Warsaw. Warsaw, yes, we have. There is one interesting Veliki something. Okay. Still participants are typing. Bitola, Štip, Banska Bystrica. Ah, okay. Okay, nobody's typing anymore, and we have 49 people inside. Super. It's 36. Okay. 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 Let's go on the next question. Because Eva explained to you what means quality of life in your city. Yes. Let's choose. what is the quality of life in your city? Yeah, look, you see, they're happy in their cities. But 3 too. Okay, all people answered or not? Huh, guys? So it basically that you are happy in the cities that you are living. Not happy, but you are satisfied. It's satisfied. It's okay. Yeah. Ah, Eva, what do you think? It's okay. Yeah. Okay, maybe they're not crazy for their happiness, but it's okay. It's okay. I was expecting lower. Yeah, okay, we find that the definition. You are just.
I might be satisfied, but
You are not happy.
no. I'm happy and I'm satisfied, but I don't have the quality of life. I'm happy and satisfied because of other conditions, so it can be a philosophical question.
No, we defined what means quality of life in your city during the session. And based on these elements, it's not philosophical, it's very always. Oh, and I don't know how I am always in another team. Okay, next question. And this is the last question. And then we are going to the lunch. Ajde.
Knowing crucial.
City. For example, I am born in Kruševo, raised in Kruševo, but I'm living in Skopje. And I put 2 in the quality of life of Skopje. Kruševo with what? Okay. I will send picture to the mayor of Kruševo. Budapest, London, Podgorica. See how Podgorica is big. Bravo, bre, Podgorica. Okay, still typing. Okay.
They have, the Montenegrin are having more devices.
How Podgorica is dominating? I don't know.
Answering from multiply
Look,
devices.
see. My God, Podgorica is before Belgrade.
I mean, Montenegro is the most beautiful country in the world, but I would never live in Podgorica.
Oh my God.
No,
Okay.
it's the...
Okay.
Yes, it's personal.
Participants are still typing.
Podgorica won.
Again.
Okay, they're in 2028 you're entering to the EU. This
There
is
is
what you are promising, so that's why maybe.
Solun. Braga, Belgrade, Kruševo with water also is dominating. Nice. As I said you, I will take this picture and send to the mayor. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know how, but Podgorica is the winner of City of Living in this. I didn't answer on this question. Okay. So although we are a bit earlier from the planet agenda, I want we to finish the session here. And the lunch now?
The lunch, it's starting at 2:30 in the restaurant when we have the breakfast and the dinner. After the lunch, around 3:15, 3:30, me and Andre will be waiting for the lobby to get the documents for those who didn't manage to do it during the coffee break. So we will be in the lobby. And we are starting with the next session again here at 4.
I must see the agenda. You can check in the 4:30, right?
Yes, 4:30. 4:30.
Okay. Before leaving you to go to lunch, I still don't have information if we
There
have
is
water.
still no water.
Okay.
But I didn't want it to
To the-
to bring the news. I wanted to avoid the question.
Okay, just you to have in mind, I will be very short. Just you to have in mind that after this event, we will have training course in Niš, our colleague in Niš, organized by the coalition, about people who can, training about people, I don't know, it's broad target group, for using this social enterprise barometer. So it's only for people from North Macedonia, Serbia, and Bulgaria, but 5 people per country. So in case you are interested about what we are speaking these days, about the pillars, and you want to learn more, the Macedonians should approach to Youth Alliance Kruševo, the Serbians to approach to the coalitions, and the Bulgarians should approach to BASA. Just you to know what is the next step after this.
And the training is scheduled from 17th till 22nd of November, which is basically in 10 days from now, and we still have spots for participants. So if you need some more explanation and more information, you can come to us to provide you with this information. So we are starting at 4:30. You have 2 hours. Please bring us your documents, enjoy lunch, and
see you in 2 hours.